What's up guys, I'm Stavis, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a quick triad hack that I use all the time that's very useful, very versatile and super easy to learn. Let's get into it. Right, so there's three elements to this hack that I'll need to briefly explain. There's triads, inversions of those triads, and what's called voice leading. Now I'm not going to get too bogged down in music theory in this video, so don't tune out. Right, a triad, as the name suggests, is just a chord made up of three notes. Now any three notes make up a triad, same way as any two notes make up a dyad. But in order to make major and minor triads, which is what we're going to be using today, you need three very specific notes. You need the first, known as the root, you need the third, and the fifth. Now each of those can be stacked in a different combination. There's three of them in total, and each of those combinations is called an inversion. So you have root, third, fifth, known as root position or root inversion. You have third, fifth, root, which is known as first inversion, and then you have fifth, root, third, which is known as second inversion. Now how they're laid out for G major is going to be on the screen now, and you can see that they're here, here, and here. I'm going to be working in G major today, but this can be very quickly and very easily applied to all of the keys simply by shifting it about the neck. Now I'm going to be using the D, G and B strings for these inversions, but every set of strings has its own inversions, and it is worth knowing all of them, but for the purposes of today we're going to focus on these. I like these ones because the inversion shapes lead themselves nicely to voice leading, which I'll explain shortly, and in a live mix they're quite MIDI and quite punchy, so they cut through the mix really well. So let's have a look at the major shapes. Right, so those are the major triad inversions. Now let's have a look at the minor ones. I'm going to stick to the key of G, but we're going to go to G minor. The reason for this is so you can see what's different between the two different patterns. So if we go for G major, which we discussed in root position, which was 5, 4, 3, we find where the third is and we flatten it. We move it down a semitone, down one fret. So the third happens to be under my middle finger, which is on the fourth fret of the G string. So I go from 5, 4, 3 to 5, 3, 3, which is very sad. Major, minor, okay? And you do that for all three shapes. So if we go up to here, that's our major. The third is under my ring finger now. So I move the 9th fret back to the 8th fret on the D string. Now I use different fingers for that, so I've switched between. Okay, and for the last one, which is 12, 12, 12, the third is now on the B string. And I need to move that down one fret. Very sad. So let's play through all those minor ones now. Now I mentioned voice leading earlier on, and what that is a method to transition from one chord to another in a smooth motion. The idea is you keep any of the notes that are the same between the chords and they stay static, and everything else that has to move moves in a stepwise motion, so by a tone or a semitone. So you're not doing massive jumps from this G to this D, you know? And in a live situation that can become a hindrance if you're moving about. You need to sight your target, and if you're not having to look at your neck, you can engage with your audience or your band members. So we're going to go from G to D, and we're going to use the root of G to the first inversion of D, and that is down a semitone. So you got 4, 2, 3. Very simple. And what you see is, you notice we've got that D note stays there the whole time, and the other two notes just move by step. Very smooth, very musical, and very easy to play. That's the basis of today's hack. It's using voice leading to keep yourself in a tight area of the neck. That's very, very useful, and it means, as I said, you can engage your audience and you're not too tight to looking at your neck the whole time, which is not good for performing. Now, all of those elements combined lead us to why this hack is so useful and so versatile when it's applied to probably the most commonly known chord progression in popular music outside of the 1-4-5 that blues gave us. And I'm going to let the Axis of Awesome guys demonstrate that because they could do a much better job than I ever could.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. I come from a land down under. No woman, no cry. Yeah, I need some love like I've never needed love before. I'm gonna make love to your baby. Take on me when I come around. Spare on my rage. I am still just a rat in a cage. God was one of us.
See, it's absolutely everywhere, and that's why this hack becomes such a useful tool to have in your arsenal, and it makes learning a lot of popular songs on short notice much easier. So let's get into the demonstration of it. So as you can see from that demonstration, all of those progressions are within a 3-fret span, which means you don't have to have your eyes locked on your fretboard the whole time, and you can daydream about your next guitar purchase.
It will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine.
The beauty of this is that you only ever use 3 fingers to fret your chords, and what that does is leaves you an extra finger that you can use to add embellishments to your chords and playing, whether it's an extension to the top of a chord, like that's a G major 9, here's a G major 7. If you're feeling extra spicy, you could add a flat 9, that's a little bit spicy. Or you can do what Hendrix was doing and what other modern guitarists like Matthias Asado and others are doing, where you add hammer-ons and trills and slides to your chords to make them a little bit more emotional. That's a word, right? And then you can use the different areas of your neck to make licks and melodic lines that are a little bit more fluid. And you can do that going up the other way. As you can see from that little example, it's very easy to make melodic sounding lines just by applying the concepts we spoke about earlier on in the video. Different areas of the neck and different inversion shapes to get you from A to B to C where you need to go. As your awareness of these areas grow and your dexterity improves as you practice and practice and practice, your confidence will grow, your lines will become more creative, more fluid, more melodic, and ultimately more enjoyable for you to play. Well, there you have it. That is my simple triad hack for you to try at home for yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit that like button. If you're interested in future content, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell. I hope you have fun with this hack. I hope it brings more creativity to your playing, and if there's anything you want me to discuss in future videos, please leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.